Hello everyone and welcome to another update video. It's been a while since the last one, but the upcoming update contains enough stuff to show, so let's jump right into it. Some of the content from Ancient Warfare 2 returns in this update. Camels are similar to horses but a bit larger and slower. Custom units can use ranged or long melee weapons to attack their enemies. Armored horses not only look better, but they are also more likely to survive a battle. And catapults are now available in two new variants, fire and poison. In addition to that, siege weapons like catapults, ballista and mortars now have shoot sounds when firing. There are new scripting image effects which allow you to heavily modify how the game looks and create interesting effects with scripting. The night vision effect can be customized with a custom color and intensity to simulate the effect of NVGs. The glitch effect enables screen shaking and distortions. And the VHS effect can be used to recreate a retro look with scan lines, fringing and color bleeding to make the game look like it's running on an old TV. The posterize effect works great in addition to the VHS effect to reduce the color quality. For instance, you could use it to simulate 8-bit graphics which only have 8 colors for each red and green and 4 for blue. The noise effect can be used in many different ways, and the intensity and size of the noise can be adjusted. The invert effect allows color channels to be inverted for some interesting effects. The desaturation effect can be used to make the game look grayscale, which could be used for flashbacks or when the player is bleeding out. And the pixelation effect pixelates the image based on the amount of pixels you set. The damage of custom ranged weapons can now be modified. In the game, the damage depends on the projectile and not the weapon. But players can now choose to modify the damage and some other values based on the base stat of the caliber. Custom physics objects are a new type of custom objects. They are somewhat experimental and should be used with caution to avoid performance problems, but they also allow a lot of new stuff to be created. Physical parameters like mass, drag, angular drag, friction and bounciness can be adjusted to create everything from a heavy crate to a bouncy ball and everything in between. And depending on the settings, these objects can be picked up and or thrown. There are various settings to determine how the object will be thrown. For instance, you can enable a preview or not and select the throw force. Thrown objects can also cause damage to units and buildings, and a custom impact sound can be selected. And if required, the object can block AI units, but that only works for cube and sphere shapes, and while the object is resting. Of course, there is full scripting integration for these objects, with events to get notified about player interactions, or collisions between objects to modify their default behavior. In addition, they can be spawned in with scripting, their physical settings can be changed and forces applied to them. This update also features various improvements to ragdolls in terms of performance and functionality. For instance, ragdolls will now react to bullet and melee impacts on the kill shot, which makes them look more realistic. And ragdoll performance has been increased by reducing their simulation quality in case there are many ragdolls and active units in the same spot, which helps to keep the game running when pushing the limits with high density melee battles. There are also many small improvements, so let's go through the most important ones. The material limits of most custom object types have been increased. Objects are now easier to pick up and interact with by not having to hit them directly. Aim sway was reduced when using scopes to make sniping less annoying, and crouching now reduces aim sway by 50%. The background in the script editor can now be toggled on and off, and hovering over script connections will now also highlight the connected in and output, which helps in scripts with many overlapping connections. The vehicle spawn nodes now output a reference to the vehicle object, and the new set rotation node can be used to quickly set the rotation of a unit without having to calculate the deltas. That's it for this update. I really hope you will like these changes and additions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.